with your evolving role in the workplace. At Benchmark, we only provide high-quality training in globally recognized professional credential to enhance your personal value in ACCA, CFA, PMP, FRM, including practical business application courses in financial modeling, computerized accounting, and many more. Contact Benchmark Learning Center, Okponglo Junction, Legon, or visit benchmarkghana.com. Be smart, be outstanding. Benchmark.
Now, speaker has a proven track record in sales management, marketing management, business development, and customer service. She's held senior positions in the airline industry, media, and textile industry as well. She's a chartered marketer by profession with a chartered postgraduate diploma in marketing from the Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK. And she's earned an MPhil in marketing from the University of Ghana Business School, as well as the Bachelor of Arts degree in political science, also from the University of Ghana. She teaches marketing on a part-time basis and has taught at the Simon Page College of Marketing and Ashesi University. She volunteers on a number of not-for-profit boards and makes time to participate in youth development initiatives like WIWIK2022. She is a prolific writer and the author of Jungle Dance, a novel, and Sales 101, What Everyone Should Know About Sales. This is a very high moment, and it's with great joy that we make welcome the head of sales and marketing for Akosombo Textiles, Madam Petra Abba Asamoah. I think we can put our hands together even louder.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. So don't worry, I'm not going to do a 1-hour presentation. You've already been here from what, 5 o'clock? I think you should put your hands together for yourselves again for being here. I know that maybe a week ago, Bernard and I were talking about would the match impact the events, and I was saying to myself, well, I would like to watch this match, but I'm not sure I want to give up the match for something like this. So well done for coming. And when Myra said it's way past your bedtime, but you're here, it's way past my bedtime by many hours. I'm a very early sleeper. But this is important for me, and I'm sure for all of our speakers. There's a lot that we sacrifice to make time to be in places like this. I'm in Cape Coast today and tomorrow with my 3 children, including my 15-month-old baby. So it takes a lot, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who does this regularly. And to you who are here, we want you to know that this is important to us for a reason. Like Franca said, we know the challenges that we have as Ghana. We know the challenges that we have as Africa. And we really, truly believe that you are the solution to these problems. And we need you to recognize that as well. We won't leave our homes and our jobs and all the things that we do and come all the way here for fun. Honestly, this is not fun. We enjoy doing it, but it's work. It's commitment, it's sacrifice. So please see that you are very important to us, to the future of our nation, to the future of our continent. Please put your hands together for yourselves one more time. But I also have to say thank you to the Apex Consult team for having me back. I think this is my 2nd time, possibly my 4th time on campus. I have a very interesting love affair with UCC. In 2015, I came here for the first time, and I just kept coming back often. So I love you, UCC, even though this is not my school. So our theme for this year is re-envisioning, looking ahead to emerging opportunities. So when our MC was introducing me, he did mention that I teach. So I'm a teacher by calling. So I'll teach you a bit. Let's talk about the word re-envision. Re-envision is made up of two words, the prefix re and then the word envision. Envision means to imagine or to picture, and re essentially means again. So to re-envision, we're saying to picture again, to look at something a different way, or to recapture a particular image that you already have. But what does re-envision mean to you? First of all, we're assuming that you already have a vision for yourself, or an image in your mind of what your future should look like. I know some of you don't. Some of you are not sure. And for some of you, the vision is a bit blurred. But let's assume that you have some amount of, a bit of a picture in your mind of what you want your future to be like. But my role tonight is to help you change some of the images that you have in your mind. If it's a slideshow, maybe some of the pictures need to be replaced. But one of the things we want to leave you with tonight is that you rethink some of the images that you have and look at the vision again. But to do that, I also need to share with you what my vision was when I was your age, right? So when I was around 20, 21, 22, 23, this was my vision. To finish university with a good grade, use that as a stepping stone to get a job. Once I got the job, I'll be able to pay my bills. And then I plan to get married, have 6 children, have 6 cars, and then an 8-room mansion on a hill. That was my good vision. And in my mind, I didn't even know how I was going to achieve this vision. So if your vision is blurred at this point, I was there also. I was reading political science with philosophy, acing my papers, but I was unsure of what will happen once I finish school. By the time I was finishing university, I was very clear in my mind that the law my dad wanted me to do was not going to be a reality. And journalism was also not going to be a reality, because I had taken my CV to a radio station. The receptionist there couldn't even tell me whether they would call me back, if there was an opportunity, when I was going to hear from them, so I dumped that. But that vision from 2006, when I left university up until now, has evolved in so many different ways. I've had to change my perspectives. I've had to grow. I've had to learn. And so I'm going to share with you tonight very quickly what are some of the things that I've learned on my journey on how to re-envision my future. I'll be looking at 4 key areas: leadership, innovation, agility, and future-proofing skills. What is leadership? Our panel spoke about leadership quite a bit, so let me just leave you with some extra thoughts. What does leadership mean to you? Does it just mean prominence, privilege, the perks? Does it mean a nice car, nice cars? What does it mean? I want to suggest to you that leadership is also hard work, and it can be painful. Because leadership, like our panelists have said, would also require that you make sacrifices. But leadership also starts with self. So the discipline to get up every day and to try again. The drive you need to succeed is a leadership trait. And that type of leadership is not easy. Because when you determine to live by certain values, especially in a society where the values are very blurred, you will struggle. When we say have integrity, I don't think Dr. Stephen was going to say it's easy. Or any of the things our panelists said. None of that is easy. But self-leadership will make you want to do it even when it's painful for you to do. So if your picture of leadership is not any of these things, service, community, wanting to be better, I want to suggest to you to please reevaluate that picture. Because I'm sure you know that we do have a leadership deficit in Africa. And so if you're that person who is able to lead, bring people together, serve the community, build things, make things happen, you become someone in demand. Innovation. Innovation is one of the most cliched words. But what does it mean? Think about innovation in terms of you looking at your environment and trying to figure out how can you make things better. I believe it was the prof who mentioned that there's working hard and there's working smart. What can you do to make the environment better? What can you do to make the community that you live in better, easier to live in, easier to adapt to? There's a very interesting paper by a renowned African scholar called Ali Mazrui. And he talks about the paradox of Africa, the African paradox. The fact that Africa is so well endowed, but yet the people of Africa don't recognize that and are not able to access those resources. When Franca was talking about the fact that we need to change how we look at Ghana, I just need to emphasize that again. For all of you thinking you want to get on that ship, I wish you get the opportunity to go at least and to experience another environment, because exposure is also good for education. But you need to think about your environment as the place where you've been gifted to make a difference. So we're not saying, nobody here is saying if you get the opportunity, don't travel, don't go to school. Myra went to school abroad. It does give you some advantage. But we're saying change the image you have of this country. Because there's a reason why everyone is coming here. And it can't be for a bad reason. So innovation will essentially ask you, what can you do better? Agility. Doris mentioned we're in a VUCA world. The world is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. That's the problem of the world. But the antidote to a VUCA world is also VUCA. Vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. In re-envisioning your future, we need you to realize that your path might not necessarily be straight. If it's straight, amen. But if it's not, and if it goes haywire like mine did, be ready for it. We won't ever be able to control everything. And we know that with COVID, for instance, everything that we knew how it existed was thrown overboard. Many years ago, our parents and grandparents could look to leaving university and spending the next 30, 40 years of their lives in a particular environment, in a particular job. Most of them got jobs even before they left university. Some of them were picked up from home every day by the company bus. They enjoyed meals at work. They got all of those things, and they were able to work towards an end-of-service benefits, a retirement where they will be relaxed and enjoy and rest. That image has changed. We no longer have the luxury of leaving university and getting into a job immediately for most of us. And for some of us, when we're going to have to rethink and develop a new picture in our minds of what we can use our university education for. So that's where the word agility comes in. You're agile when you're quick, flexible, and able to move quickly. The world no longer promises you stability or security or even comfort, which are things that as human beings we desire. When the game changes, and the game has changed, you need to adapt. So let me speak on the final issue. And I'll speak a bit in perspective. Doc mentioned this. In 1997, Nokia launched the first app in the world. And that app was essentially an inbuilt app on their phone, the Snake game. Does anyone remember that? That was the first app. But before 1997, in 1983, Steve Jobs and his friends had already envisioned an app store, a place where people could buy apps and use apps. But guess what? He thought about it in 1983. Nokia launched it in 1997. It was in 2008 that the App Store was finally launched. 25 years to realize that vision. 25 years of your company. When I saw the video and you mentioned my company will be 25 years in December, I was like, congratulations. That's how long it takes sometimes for things to become a reality. But someone has to think about it, someone has to work towards it, and someone has to build it. And Apple has made in 2020 $72.6 billion from running these apps. What happened to Nokia? So re-envisioning also means that you need to think long-term about what the problems of the environment are and how you can provide solutions. Whilst you're here on campus, not when you finish, now that you're listening to us, we need you to do a couple of things to ensure that in 10, 15, 20 years, your life would be the best that it can be. So here's a list you can write down. Ask yourself, what are the current challenges of my environment? 2, how will these challenges be resolved? If they are not resolved, how will they become worse? And in the future, what will these challenges be? How will I make a career, or how can I make money out of solving these problems? What skills do I need to have? What skills do I have now? And what do I need to do now to make me ready for that future? For instance, you can ask yourself, where is education going? What are the needs? What are the problems? What have you encountered whilst you were here? What did you encounter when you were in secondary school? Is there an opportunity for you to solve a problem? Another approach you can consider, look at your field of study. What is the direction of research? What discussions are the most renowned and most forward-thinking researchers having around the areas that you're studying? Do not romanticize your area of study or what you're doing and think that it can't change. I read political science. And when I was in school, one of the jokes that people had in my department was, so are we all going to be political scientists? Are we all going to be politicians? The thing about university education is, first and foremost, it's supposed to help you learn how to think. So by all means, hear people say things like, what are you going to use that for? How are you going to use that? But think about what you're going to use it for as a springboard to where you're going. So let me leave you with a mnemonic, because I believe that if you're going to re-envision the future and take advantage of what's out there, there's something you have to remember. So turn to your neighbor, like we do in church, and say, be bold. But this is not a political statement. The B here stands for brace yourself. Doc mentioned it. There's more going to come. Mr. Mobbing mentioned he's made so many mistakes, but he's also learned so many things. So brace yourself. Develop skills in leadership, public speaking, selling, adaptability. Acquire certificates by all means. We're not saying don't go to school, but we are saying think about what skills you're acquiring in all of this. The O, open up. Be willing to go beyond your comfortable environments. Think about how new ideas and new things can bring you opportunity. We are a community that when we're leaving home, our parents say to us, be careful. Remember where you're coming from. Don't get into trouble, which is good. But also think that there's a big world out there that you need to explore. I believe it was Mr. Bomi who mentioned that when you're young, try things, travel. Don't stay in Cape Coast all your life. Go to Wa, get on a bus and go to Bolga, go to Axim, my hometown, see the beautiful beach. Traveling is one of the things that opens up your mind, gives you exposure. You see how other people behave and how things are done elsewhere, and then you can come back and make a change. So the O is for open up. And when you're in university, it's a melting pot for you to meet different people. You have roommates who you feel are so difficult. It's just because you are from different backgrounds. So let this be an opportunity also for you to experience different cultures. The L is for learn. You have to be a lifelong learner, not a schooler, a learner. Embrace knowledge and learn the lessons that life presents. And the D, which is my favorite, is dare. No one achieved anything great by being safe. If you want to mention anyone who achieved greatness, they were daring. They had the audacity to do things that other people didn't want to do, to go into territories other people didn't want to go, to dare to not be liked, to dare to question what everyone else was saying was right. When you dare, you will be able to make a difference. Thank you.
I asked her to kindly stay by, so we do something very important. So WIWIK, like you may know, is in our 8th year. This is the 8th edition. And the people who have lent us their support as volunteers and they've distinguished themselves, it's just in order that we show them our appreciation. And so while our keynote speaker is here, she'll do the presentation for these distinguished people. 2 of them I'd like to call out for recognition. Mr. Mustafa Isahaku. Now we took him by surprise. Please come by for him. A round of applause for him. It contains a certificate that reads that in recognition of your outstanding contributions and continuous voluntary service towards the successful organization of the annual What I Wish I Knew conference. Congratulations to you. Mr. Photographer, did you miss him? He can come back. You got it. Great. And there's a second one, and it is to Mr. Michael Selom Agbenyega. Well done. The Apex team are truly grateful for all that you've been doing. Congratulations. Thank you. So what does the B stands for? And the O, L, I'm glad she said not schooling. And D, wonderful. A round of applause for yourselves. We're drawing to a close. Quick announcements. Tomorrow, we're having the breakfast workshop session, and our facilitators will be Mr. Kafuide and Madam Doris. It goes for 70 Ghana cedis. And we also have, as part of the breakfast workshop, a coaching session that we'll be having. That goes for 150 Ghana cedis. Exclusively, we'll have Madam Doris Ahiati, who is a certified coach, to interact with you. I think you want to take advantage of it for what it is worth. Is it a good idea? Also, we have books. Lots of the speakers who came by today are authors, and we're delighted that they came with their books. Please help yourself at the stands behind, because there are books that you can buy, read, and benefit from their knowledge. WIWIK2022, like you're aware, was brought to you by Apex Human Consult. We are a community that's growing, and so right now, I want to crave your indulgence. Let's get onto our smartphones and let's join our community. Type in Apex Human Consult on Facebook. Those at the back, your phones are not working. You don't have data or something? So type in Apex Human Consult. It's across all platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, and connect with our community. Apex Human Consult. Apex Human Consult. The first 5 will win souvenirs from us. 5 people who subscribe to our community will win some souvenirs from us. Okay, I know the silence. It means we are busy on our phones. While we're at it, we'd like to do something very critical and very important. The convener for WIWIK 2022, you heard from him at the beginning, Mr. Benateria. His birthday was on Monday, and we'd like to appreciate and celebrate him in a very special way. And so I'll kindly call on Madam Abba to help us do this presentation. He's not here in person, but Dr. Steve will receive it on his behalf. I'm sure he's online and he's wondering, these people, what are they up to? But it's a citation, and it is signed by all of our dignitaries. And it says that, Dr. Bernard, thank you for giving back so much to young people in Ghana through your innovative and life-changing initiatives. We celebrate you and your impact on us, and look forward to the future with great optimism. Happy 30th birthday from us all. And it's signed again, like I said, by all of our dignitaries. I think we can put our hands together and send some love to him all the way where he is.
Just before I hand over to you, sir, Bernard, if you're listening, I think it's also a very good sign. It's a sign of a good leader that you can organize this event in your absence. A lot of times people want to hug the initiatives that they build, but he's been able to do this by building a good team. So congratulations and happy birthday from all of us here. If you're online, yay, everybody, happy birthday to Bernard.
Beautiful. Congratulations on your 30th. May you see many more 30s to the glory of God. Thank you very much. And so we're drawing the curtain down on today's program. How has it been so far? I know. I heard so far so good. That sounds very nice. At least if you were not here, you would be somewhere nursing the heartbreak of Ghana's defeat. But we've added value to ourselves. Thank you all for being a part of this experience. Let me give a shout out to our sponsors. Some people paid for this beautiful event. WIWIK 2022 was brought to you by the kind courtesy of ATL, Cal Bank, Ravens Consulting GH, Crescendo Consult, Propel Ed, Benchmark Executive, as well as other events. We can put our hands together for all these people. And not forgetting our proud sponsor, the Ghana German Center, GIZ, whose rep is here. Again, let's put our hands together and appreciate them. Further announcement, there are buses that are available to convey students to the various halls. There's one at the new site, there's another at the old site, SRC, and is it Super Nation? Is there a place like that? Super Nation, great. And for those who want certificates too, you can see the volunteers who are clad in yellow t-shirts. They can help you to do so at a desk outside. Our authors, like I said, came with books. Jungle Dance by Madam Petra Asamoah is at the back. You can make purchases of copies, as well as Sales 101, also by Petra Asamoah. And the UT Story, which was authored by Captain Prince Kofi Amoabin. He was here earlier. He has his books outside. You want to take advantage of it. On that note, we'll call it a day. The band is it's on cue. They'll give us some music as we go. Have we connected on our social media platforms? Have we? But before we draw everything, I think it's a good time for us to have all our distinguished guests to come here for a photo opportunity. If we have SRC executives, you may be on standby as well, and then we'll share in this photograph. Once we're done with photographs, the musicians will take us home and we'll call it a day.
Whatever the occasion, with ATL, you can never be out of style. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
How relevant are your skill sets with your evolving role in the workplace? At Benchmark, we only provide high-quality training in globally recognized professional credential to enhance your personal value in ACCA, CFA, PMP, FRM, including practical business application courses in financial modeling, computerized accounting, and many more. Contact Benchmark Learning Center, Okpongno Junction, Legon, or visit benchmarkghana.com. Be smart, be outstanding. Benchmark.